Well, this is the day that God has made, and truly we rejoice, and are glad in it. We thank God for God's mighty hand, God's loving kindness, and God's tender mercy. We thank God for God's divine orchestration and another day to get together again. Listen, this is Dr. LaDonna, and I'm greeting you live from Kigali, Rwanda. And this is Africa Day. Yes, this is Africa Day. Listen, it's a big holiday weekend in many places, but did you know that today is Africa Day? So we definitely want to honor that. If you're checking in with us, it's a global check-in. It's been a while since we've been here with Globalcast. Why don't you let us know where you're checking in live from? Let us say hello to you. We're broadcasting on LinkedIn and on Facebook. We'll also be soon broadcasting on Instagram and YouTube. But we wanted to greet you today because it's a very special day, Africa Day. In addition, we're starting our 30 days of living the dream. So we just wanted to come on. This is Global Thursdays. And every Thursday during for the next several Thursdays, we will be broadcasting live. We will be having guests from around the world and topics from around the world. So we wanted to announce that with you. And today's question, as we celebrate Africa Day, is to ask you, where in Africa do you want to travel? Now, we know we have friends from all over the continent of Africa tuning in and in our global community. We know that we have people from around the African diaspora and around the world, but where in the world, especially in the continent of Africa, are you interested in traveling? Listen, I'm in Kigali, Rwanda. And as many of you know, I've had the opportunity to do about 15 global journeys, mostly between the US and South Africa, and then most recently here in Rwanda. And we will be hosting global retreats, which we're super excited about. So you want to tune in for that. In fact, there's two things we want to be sure to invite you to as we're on this broadcast today. And number one, want to be sure to invite you to join our mailing list so you can connect in. You can receive all our updates, where we are in the world, what global programs we're hosting, and you'll be one of the first to learn about our global retreat. So I'm going to post that in the comments, and then you'll find this pinned um, wherever you'll find us. Now, we want to make sure that you can hear us well. So if you would just comment, we also are testing the software from this location. And so we just want to say a big greetings and welcome to all our family and friends from around the world, people checking in from around the world. Listen, how are you doing and being today? I just want to make sure we are here and you can hear us well. Let me jump over to LinkedIn. All right. So, yes, be sure to join our mailing list, which we will post in the comments. And then the other thing, well, first, I'm actually checking. Okay. The other thing I want to be sure to invite you to is, many of you may know that recently I celebrated a graduation. And in fact, I want to say happy graduation to all the graduates. In fact, my niece, Kaylee, just sent all the pictures from her graduation from yesterday. It's so interesting in our family. We have at least three graduations. My cousin, Dr. Latanya Franklin, also did receive her doctorate in her home state of Missouri. And then Kaylee also just graduated yesterday from high school. I graduated last weekend, the weekend before last, from McCormick Theological Seminary as a Wright Scholar, Dr. Jeremiah A. Wright Jr. Scholar. So it was interesting because when the graduation was coming, I felt really strongly to um, have an online graduation celebration because we have so many friends and people who mean so much, and they're living all over the world. Now, at the time, I had no idea I would be here in Rwanda, but here I am. So I want to ask you to join me for the celebration. It's coming up on June 3rd, and we'll also be posting the invite in the comments as well. And if you're unable to make it, there are some ways that you can participate. So check out the invite. Let's get this up for you. And it'll be an online graduation. And I love that because many of you may not know, but probably for the last several years, I've always been on at least two different time zones. And then that would be South Africa and Chicago. And then when we connected with our London and Great Britain fam, then all of a sudden I had three time zones. So we're inviting everyone from every time zone to join us on June 3rd. And I'm super excited that Prophet Norma Ramirez Barrero is going to join us as well as our speaker. And so come, it'll be a great time of inspiration. And I'll also be sharing from my heart and from the vision God has given me, and would love for you to be there. Well, it's Africa Day. So, what does that mean to you? I am asking, where in the world, or in particular, where in Africa, have you always wanted to travel? Do you want to travel? Maybe you're saying, I want to travel next. It's so interesting. For the next 30 days, I'll be talking about this concept of living the dream. And it's not the dream, but it's the dream that God has for your life, the dream and purpose that you were created for. And I think, well, I remember before I went to McCormick, I always wanted to travel to Africa. And I don't know if I've ever said this publicly, but I remember when I went to the McCormick weekend where you learn about McCormick Theological Seminary, one of the things they talked about is that they visited a continent every year. And that really stretched me beyond thought. I mean, I was not trying to go to other continents. I couldn't even imagine that, but just to hear that there was study going on. And so when they said they were going to Africa next, I saw that as God's sign saying, you need to go to this school. And anyway, I did go. That was not the only reason, but nonetheless, um, yeah, I went. And at that time, I never had traveled globally like that. And so sometimes God gives you a vision or a word, or you have an understanding, like some people on our global team this year. I was saying, are you ready to fly? Because part of traveling is you're going to be flying across the nations. And some of them had not been on a plane, and certainly not across the waters. And so I was like, begin to prepare yourself for that. And it made me think about how each one of us, we have dreams and we have hopes and things that we feel called to do. But sometimes, well, what I've learned on the journeys is important to create space to imagine yourself in that dream. So I really want to take these 30 days, living the dream is our focus, just to talk about. Each day we'll have a particular focus, but while we're doing that, I want to invite you to really think about, what is your dream? What is the big dream that you have? What is the dream that God has for your life? What is the thing that maybe you've even been putting off? And so we're going to use this time together. I could call it the Living the Dream Challenge, but I didn't get that it was a challenge. I got that it's an invitation. So I'm inviting you to journey with me for the next 30 days on this thought of living the dream, living your dream, living the dream that God has for your life. And I can tell you, I'm on the path to doing that, even being here right now, even talking to you. I remember years ago, I imagined gathering people from different parts of the world, and now we're doing that every day. So it's Africa Day. If you're just joining us, the question of the day is, where in Africa would you like to travel? And then the second part, which is really important, and it may be for you a different answer, where in Africa do you want to learn more about? Because there's so much. There could be speakers coming to your city or your town. Certainly, we have the internet and workshops and different ways that we can learn. But I'm encouraging us to listen to African voices and read works by Africans. And our work with Ubuntu Global is really one of the things we want to do is listen for African people's visions for where they are. And so, yeah, so it's Africa Day. And I did look that up. I'll post this for you, the origins of African Day, but there's an amazing write up of it on the African Union's website, which we will also include for you. And you can learn all about Africa Day and also learn about maybe where you want to travel or a place you want to learn more about. Well, listen, I wanted to come on and greet you today, and I want you to pray with us on this journey. Listen, I'm so excited today because today we are receiving our first guests. We do global retreats. And when the second time I came to Rwanda, God put it in my heart and mind to host a global retreat for leaders. And that was just an amazing experience. And you may hear me talking about a campaign that we have, Dr. LaDonna's Travel Fund. It really allows us to host these retreats for leaders. And I have a special place in my heart. What we want to do next is host a retreat for artists and creators here. And you, in fact, tonight we'll be going to Spoken Word with Rwanda, but you'll see the amazing creators that are here and even around the world. And many of our retreats are virtual, but wherever we are, we really like to connect in to where we are. So if you see an invitation to give and support that work, please do. Also, just to announce to you, in the new month of June, we will be having a few spaces to do VIP virtual retreats. And also, we will begin booking our global retreats. So, you want to look out for that. Well, I would ask you if you have any questions for me or comments, you can post them. And we'll be coming on. We'll be posting every day for the next 30 days. Living the dream, living your dream. And so I want you to think about, what is your dream? Think about that. And I want to be the one, if nobody's asked you, because I have had a few people only in the world ask me that question, but when they did, it created space for me to begin to envision and dream. So I want to be the one to ask you, what is your dream? What is the thing that God is calling you to do in these times? Well, let me just see if there's any. Okay. Yeah, so share this with someone, share it on your page and put a big post that says, what is your dream? And invite them to join us for these 30 days. You can find the 30-day each post on our Facebook pages, also on our YouTube page, which we'll post for you here as well. We have a new YouTube. Everything is new. So the best thing for you to do is go ahead and sign up to be on our mailing list, and then you'll get all of the updates. But listen, I'm so glad to be with you. I'm so glad it's Africa Day. And if you're just joining us, I just want to say welcome. Let us know where you're checking in from. And we wish you a very blessed Africa Day. I want to tell you, as I was praying this morning, I was really in awe because I'm like, on Africa Day, I have my feet set on African soil. I'm in Africa. And in fact, there's so many benefits of being over here because I think if I was over at home, I might not have even known that today was Africa Day until it was almost over or after the fact. So I plan to be a connector and look forward to connecting our communities across the waters and across geographic boundaries. And so I look forward to journeying with you. Thank you for journeying with me. And again, if you'd like to join us on June 3rd for the graduation celebration, do click the link in the comments and join us. We would love to celebrate together and have you join us. Well, God loves you. God bless you. This is Dr. LaDonna with Globalcast, and we are in 30 days of living the dream. I will see you again soon. God bless you, and God loves you so much.